I'm here in sunny posh Edinburgh with Tom Juniper, who I interviewed last year as well.
Hello.
How are you doing? Is this year treating you well so far?
Well, I mean, as of coming to Edinburgh and finding out that we'd accidentally booked accommodation in a really posh area of Edinburgh, which was cheaper than the other.
Well,
we don't know what happened, but
go with it.
Great.
There might be an extra bill at the end going, oh yes, this was a surprise. We forgot to tell you that. That was just a deposit, maybe.
No, I double checked.
Double checked. It's
With
like, is this a con?
James Bond's old schools over there.
Oh no. Doxing yourself.
Oh yeah, maybe start again.
James Bond's old doxed school in it's fictional, so it doesn't really exist.
It doesn't exist.
It
yeah.
doesn't exist.
Hogwarts, just down there.
Exactly. Yes, which also doesn't exist.
Don't worry, if anyone came looking for us based on that, they'd soon get arrested for being reprobates. We have to dress up in white tie and tails to walk around the streets here.
Yes. Disguised little masks. You'll never know who I am. Yes, it's very nice. I say that slightly doxing, so I'm not going to show you, but there's a few derelict buildings there, but we won't talk about that.
That's probably an art installation.
Yeah, maybe it is a very, very big art installation.
But yes, I'm having a great Fringe so far.
Good, yeah.
Albeit, what have I done for the Fringe so far? I have gone, ooh, my posters have come in the Banshee. I have seen nice people.
That's always good, yeah.
And yeah, that's it so far.
Yeah. So that was just me looking at camera, not to perceive myself, just to move it so that Tom is more in frame. Yeah. So yeah, you don't start your show Screech Night until the middle of the Fringe, so you've got a nice run up. You're doing other things before that.
Yes. This year I might actually get to see some shows.
That's always good.
As well as like my partner Frizz is doing their shows at Globe Bar and Whistle Binkies. Look in the book.
Look in the book. What's in the box?
What's in the box?
It's now called Look in the Book.
It's not called Look in the Book.
Not called Look in the Book.
We're tired. So yes, I am going to be helping out with Frizz Frizzle's Funny Turn and Frizz Frizzle's What's in the Box, and the rest of the time I will be actually going around and seeing some of the spoken word shows, because there are spoken word shows, and I'm so happy about that.
That's good. Was it looking a little bit hit and miss at one point then?
Well, I think after COVID, a lot of the kind of really established spoken word scene just didn't recover.
Yeah, everyone's like, "That's it, I'm moving. No more spoken word for me."
Yeah. A spoken word and a train fare in this economy, I think is
fair enough.
A lot to do with it. But yeah, we've now got. It's not back up to pre-COVID levels, but we've got enough spoken word shows that I'm having to go, ooh, I've got choices, rather than, I guess I'll go and see my mate John's show. Oh no, it clashes with my show, the only other spoken word show.
Yeah. Well, I booked a day off this year to see other people's shows, but then I've booked in being in other people's shows on all the days off, so it's like, oh well, I'll see them in my mind, maybe.
But yes, I will be doing Screech Night again, because we did it last year as well, as a sort of experiment to see what would work.
And did it?
Yes.
Yes. No doubt. Yes. No. Yes. No, it didn't.
Elise Harris, everybody, telling me to be more positive.
Because I'm good at telling other people to do that. You never tell me that, though.
Well, I think the hesitation isn't that it went well.
Yeah.
It isn't that it didn't went well or went badly. It's that every single night we did was completely different from the night before. Yeah, so it's really
that's the beauty of it.
Because it's not. Yeah, I mean that happens anyway at a Fringe show, but when you've got different people every night, like this year, it's even going to be even more so. Because we had kind of a rotating cast last year, again because of how few performers there were to pick from. Yeah. And because A, we're doing a shorter run, and B, there's more people coming on board, we've pretty much got an entirely unique lineup every single night.
That's amazing.
It's amazing, but it's also like, how do you review that show? How do you tell people what the show's like? It's going to be different than the night before. That is the guarantee I provide.
But that's it. If you've got special favourites and you can see them that night, and you're like, whoa, my other special favourites that other night.
And also, it's got the positive way of saying that is that if you come to the show and you enjoy it, if you come another time, you're going to see a new show.
Different show, exactly. I mean, some shows, that's the case. I mean, I'm talking about my show now. I don't know what I'm doing, so it is likely if you come more than once, it's going to be a different thing. But it's It's going to be the same me. Is it going to be the same me though? Are you ever the same you? Anyway, can you cross a river twice?
What a coherent conversation we are having today.
It is.
It's the first day. It's the first day of performance, and we're
don't be dissing me. Excuse me.
Yeah, Elise is always like this, to be fair.
And there is nothing wrong with that. Oh my goodness me. If you can't trust somebody you know to say horrible things, I don't know. Anyway,
you specifically said you didn't want people to say nice things.
I don't want them to say horrible things. I don't want them to say anything. It's a different thing. It's just because I will believe the horrible things and I will not believe the positive things. I will believe that I am terrible and it will compound itself. Okay. But that's fine. I understand the motivation and the positivity behind it and the good intentions.
I believe very strongly in positivity via being sarcastic and taking the piss.
That's good, but you need to know that's what somebody's intentions are. Because sometimes you think they are for years, and then you find out they were being sincere and they really hate you.
Oh, that's the best though, because that's been rent free in their head all the time. It's not affected you one single bit. I had a university friend exactly, but she didn't like me. I just thought she was shy. And it wasn't like because I was like up myself. I just wasn't reading the body language correctly, and she was just like doing. We ended up coining a word for it because it was malanking, which is where you specifically find someone that you don't like and seek them out and get into their space so that you can then ignore them because they haven't noticed yet. So it's like coming to that bit of the bar and going. Saying nothing.
Was that what they were like? That's awful. I don't like that sort of person. If you're that sort of person,
but it was great because I found out years later when apparently she had a change of heart.
Oh, did like you all of a sudden?
No, I didn't like me, but felt. Apparently, she's been talking about how she wanted to murder me at one point. Like it'd been a proper. God knows why. Like I did something in Freshers Week.
Yeah.
I think I remember what it was. She was going out with a girl who I had very, very briefly met and dated, like before any of us were at uni. Didn't it was like a flash in the pan. Years later again, and. Yeah, but I had no. It ate her up inside for years. It didn't bother me at all. So who wins?
Well, that's true.
Like people thinking of stuff about you if you don't know about it.
Yeah, they're not having a nice time, are they? No.
But
now it's really sad for people that are hateful. Not too much though.
But the thing you were saying before about. When people say nice things, I can't stand it either. But that's because I always got that. Are you being sarcastic? Sarcastic, but B, kind.
Yeah, just
or like saying a thing that you think is the convention. Like, if I do a performance and I ask you how it went, I don't want to hear. Oh, it was great. Like, if you're going to give me a compliment a specific thing about it.
Yeah.
And if you thought there was something that was terrible about it or that you didn't get, that's really useful information. Even if it's like, okay, I should have realised that my geeky sonnet, sestina, villanelle, haiku, rondelay, special interest in poetry forms might not be everybody's cup of tea.
Find your audience.
That one book that I read when I was 9, maybe not everyone's read that book, so that reference maybe hasn't landed great.
References are hard though, because everyone,
somebody else got something completely different that I never would have thought of.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
if you just go, that was really nice.
Yeah.
But it's more useful if you go, don't know where it was going at the end there, or like, I liked the rhythm, but I didn't really understand the context.
Audience. Yeah, sorry.
Mocking us. The seagulls mock us.
Seagulls. Yeah. So no, the context is all. You need to know where people are at. Or sometimes you don't. Maybe it's better to not know.
Sometimes people give me feedback and I go, that's really, really kind of you for telling me, thank you. I'm not going to take any notice of it at all.
Yeah.
But I'd still rather they did that than when people say, oh, you look nice.
Yeah.
They might just not be able to think of a better word than nice, but in my brain that means, oh, you're trying to be ever so kind to me because I look a mess. If you go, wow, brave choice with those shoes.
You look
like,
well.
Thank you. I did make a brave choice.
What does you look well mean though?
Yeah.
That's the worst thing.
For context, these are the shoes I made a brave choice
I
with.
glanced at them and oh no, my tea's it. I had tea. I did have tea.
I said I won't have tea because I'll spill it.
Let's put tea somewhere where it won't get spilled. Oh well. Shoes. That's the problem. Shoes on the table.
And the spider's being killed and someone broke a looking glass.
Move back in, otherwise you will be out of shot again. Yeah, so references, I've no idea what those references are. I'm sure they're very popular references. This is what I'm saying about references. Yes. People, you're like, well, everyone knows that. Like, Pony Club, it's like not everyone knows what everyone thinks they knows. All the most popular
Theory
things are still...
of mind is hard.
Well, no.
Shoes Upon the Table is a Blood Brothers reference.
Oh, okay. See, I haven't seen... I know of Blood Brothers. I haven't seen Blood Brothers. If you just sang the... Dee 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 dee. I know that.
Yeah.
No, I've heard that. Willie Russell, I know that.
Yeah, there's a song
Mel
about...
C was in it once, I know that. Yes, carry on.
There's a song that comes up again and again that's about superstitions. And the idea is this woman having a bad life because of breaking superstitions, because she's superstitious? Or is it because of, the class divide?
Is it because of
And that's really like spoon-fed to the audiences. Can we blame superstition for what came to pass, or could it be what we the English have come to know as class?
Institutional.
Yeah, and it is like it's not because you saw a magpie. It's because the working class are getting messed around with.
You're not allowed to talk about
it. Spoilers for Blood Brothers.
So, well, there you go. I mean, it's not a big spoiler. There's other spoilers that I know, even though I haven't seen. But I know that spoiler. I haven't seen it. Yeah, it's there's a lot of Hamilton references about. Not everyone's seen Hamilton.
I was going to say there's Hamilton references in Blood Brothers.
Around the world in things. Yeah. No, references are hard. If you're doing a show about popular culture, which of course Frizz, very much, Frizzle,
yes,
come see. There's a lot of popular culture references.
Well, they do, because they do parody songs. Yeah. Parody's another one that references have to work.
Yeah, they have to.
So you need a song that's recognisable enough that you can change the lyrics and everyone's still going to be
knows what it is. Yeah.
And again, you get different audiences.
Oh, that's a lovely song that you wrote completely. Is that your tune too? Yes.
But, I mean, there are songs that I have heard on the radio, and that's when I've realised what Frizz was parodying that time.
But you appreciated the parody. Yeah.
I was like, it's got funny lyrics. It's a good joke. Presumably, there's a song that sounds like that somewhere. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's most of my experience of parody. To be fair, like it's usually I'll see a real thing and a joke that I saw on Monty Python when I was 7 will suddenly make sense because I realised that that was a spoof.
Yes, exactly. Well, that's it. And also, you can find things funny when you're a child. Like, I remember, I was going to say Laurel and Hardy, but it was actually the two Ronnies. They did a joke about...
Ronnie and Ronnie.
The two Ronnies, Ronnie, Laurel and Ronnie. And they did a joke about somebody stealing a box of chocolates or something, and there was a nut cluster in it. And I thought it was funny for some reason. I can't even remember what the joke was. But then my mum was like, "That's a rude joke." I was like, "Is it though? What? I've Because I was laughing on a completely different reason.
That's two vowel sounds. It's nut cluster. It sounds like a funny word.
Yeah, they stole their nut clusters. I was like, ha! Why would anybody steal their nut clusters? They're the worst. No, I don't know.
Well, that's how those jokes work. Exactly. That's how they got on telly in the
exactly.
In the day.
But it's like the shame. It's like, no, you can't like that joke because it's a rude adult joke. It's like, but I don't understand even now. Now you've confused me.
The thing that Frizz pointed out a few years ago, the Tweenies TV show was running some reruns, and there was a joke in the Tweenies that had from an episode that had been made in like 2002 or something, where one of the characters dressed up as a DJ with white hair and glasses and a tracksuit and was going and they didn't mention the name. All it was like a little, like, back in 2000, little, like, 5-second sight gag for the grown-ups.
Yeah.
And the Daily Mail did a thing of this bang this sick filth. They're showing Jimmy Savile-based characters. What 3-year-old in, like, 2020 or whenever it was, is watching the Tweenies going, I get the cultural reference of disgraced ex-DJ Jimmy Savile. They're going, ha ha ha, Max has got funny hair in this episode, ha.
Yeah.
If it wouldn't have been a thing if everyone hadn't gone, oh, it's a thing. Because it's...
Yeah. No, it's reminding me of another thing I haven't seen. I haven't seen any 28 Days Later. I was going to say a popular franchise that I haven't seen. But there's something in there that everyone's like, that makes no sense. Why did they do that? That's better. And also, if everyone... I think in the first one, that it happens in 2002 or something.
Yeah.
And it's after...
Okay, apparently...
After and before. So it makes no sense on either level. Somebody said,
Good. I'm aware. I don't. Okay, I think we're trying to avoid spoilers.
Yes, try to avoid spoilers. Spoilers. I haven't seen it, so I don't know whether it is a spoiler, really.
Yeah. What I can say safely.
Yeah.
Also, having not seen it, but having heard rants about it, there are things that would not be true.
Yeah.
If it was our reality, but because it's not our reality, because it's our reality. If zombies happen, there would be differences in the rest of the world, because anything that the human race would have done, for good or ill, since when the zombies happened, is no longer in play. So going, I've seen a nitpick. It's actually that shouldn't be there. That should be there.
But the nitpick wrong. I saw was what 11-year-old is actually seeing, because Jimmy Savile hadn't been on the air for years by that point. He was still a popular cultural reference, but was he to a 10-year-old? I don't know, because I wasn't 10 at the time.
But going back to between Jimmy Savile, a really important service that I think a lot of people appreciate, that the makers of toddler-aimed children's program is putting some jokes in for the adults who have been doing nothing but watching children's programs.
And actually, now that you come to say it, there was a Jimmy Savile reference in Tweenies, which they would have seen, but they wouldn't have understood. That actually explains the whole plot of 28 Days Later that I haven't seen, that somebody had nitpicked. And so, having two conversations, this is how references work. Jigsaw references. Now I'm like, I haven't seen the film, but I understand why their nitpick was wrong. Because apparently there's actually Teletubbies in it as well. So if
tune in next time for more news from the Fringe.
Breaking down. No, this is relevant because everything is. In the end, it's all connected. Yes. We're all connected. Everything, everywhere, all at once. Intertextuality, exactly.
Good word.
So this is how we break down. And to be honest, we haven't actually started shows yet. So what is there to talk about? It's the first. Yes. It's the first. If you're watching this later on. This was before everybody went, why am I here? The positivity, this is as high as it gets, really. So this is the high point. Can you imagine?
I disagree. I think there will definitely be mania. There will be hysterical, wild-eyed joy.
Yes, but is that actual joy?
And naps.
That's just a facsimile of joy. It's masquerading as joy when it's actually the despair hiding slightly backwards.
Don't ruin it for me. It's all I've got to live on.
That is joy. Yes, the main here is joy. That is what we have. See, I have started this Fringe not expecting anything except misery and despair. So anything's a positive plus point. When people are going, what on earth was that? I'll go, what did you expect? Did I tell you any different? Did I tell you this was going to be amazing? I didn't, did I? I didn't.
Just going to shout at them on the way out.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't want your money.
I'm sorry. Like, at least one person came to me last year based on this. This is a lovely interviews. I mean, this is fairly restful. I know it's not particularly restful, but it's like lovely interviews with lovely people talking about fringy stuff. And they came to see my show, and I was like, wow, how did you get here? It's because I saw your other show with the. I was like, oh no, and they were like, yeah, oh no. It's like, yeah, you can tell this isn't that. And somebody yesterday shook my hand and said, oh, I've been watching these. Come and see your show. I'm like, oh, don't. Oh, so don't. I don't want the disappointment in your eyes.
What might be happening here?
Yes.
Because it's happened to me before, and it's happened to another friend of mine who does poetry stuff, is I get congratulated on my hilarious comedy persona where I pretend to be really awkward on stage. And that's not a persona, that's just dyspraxia and autism and forgetting the names of people who I've meant to introduce the second, like, even though I've read them or been told them seconds before, and just going, so anyway, let's move on and pretend that didn't happen.
Yes.
But people think that so people may think that you're doing a bit as like a kind of anti-marketing, like the more you tell them.
Well, but I am doing a bit for my whole entire life, is the thing. My whole life is a bit. No, but somebody said, oh, people misunderstand you and don't take you seriously because they think you're your comedy persona and you're different in real life. It's like, not deliberately.
Sometimes you have to, like the persona is the times I pretend to be normal and buttoned down. The persona that's like, oh, that's hilarious on stage is me going, okay, I'm going to be a bit less, like, I'm going to mask my autism a bit less right now because, like, I've already knocked the mic stand over. It's not really much point in pretending at this point. But people think it's the other way around. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's confusing. What is real? What is fiction? Is there such a thing as either? Probably not. All blends.
Oh no! I've raised it my whole life doing spoken word. Turns out fiction isn't.
Fiction isn't. Fiction is real. Real is fiction. Fiction is real.
Oh, that's just tangent.
I just looked at the sun. I looked too close at the sun. He's trying to get the right light, and there the sun's right there. So
yeah. Poet, like the thing of like fiction, non-fiction, poetry being either really.
Yeah.
But there was a time when you still get it a little bit where it was like, if you said something in a poem, people thought it was true.
Right. Yeah.
And even if you, I ended up doing, I was hosting poetry nights in Sheffield, and I was going to poetry nights and performing at them, and when I was hosting, I instituted it. If you are doing a sort of confessional style poem and it's not something that's specifically happened to you, it's probably a good idea to say so.
Yeah.
A, to like save embarrassing conversations later, and B, because like it does change how it's taken, and whether you've got this is what I imagine that would be like is a different thing. I don't think it's wrong to imagine what something would be like. I think that's a good building block of empathy, but you shouldn't present that as if... That's
true. Well, because I've got a lot of poems in my show. That is one thing I'm going to be reading them from my book, mostly as a prop. I can't remember my own poems. Well, can I? Is it a prop? Anyway, they're mostly autobiographical, except I was obviously never a Vestal Virgin in Roman times. If it's obvious that it's not autobiographical. Also, there's one.
Oh, you'd think obvious.
Obvious. But there is one. I was like, these are all autobiographical poems. I was looking at them going, I can't remember that happening to me. But I haven't indicated to myself that it wasn't happening to me. And I'm like, that confused me. It confused me. Yeah.
The opposite sort of end of it is... I did a load of poems about monsters. They're folklore poems. It should be obvious, cut and dry. Yeah. But some of the poems are about me, and I didn't realize. I was like, what would this character feel like?
Yeah.
And so there's it's not just with them. It's happened before where I've gone, oh, I'll write a funny like light-hearted story about this funny anecdote that happened, and then I read it back, or I'll read it out on a stage, and people go, "Oh my god, I can't believe that happened to you. That's so true." Oh, I might
have to preface that.
Might have to go to therapy, because it turns out that wasn't a normal thing. But when you have you can use the fiction to process stuff, but also I'd rather be that way around than going, I'm going to tell you the story of what it's like to be a starving orphan in Africa. It's like, well, clearly I'm not.
You, is it? No. Let's leave that.
But
it says something about you. The people that write the starving audience, those. It's like, why have you written that? What does that say about you that you've written it? And I know you're not supposed to take the author's life but why have you written that?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
I have seen like the pipeline of somebody doing doing really well at a slam or a poetry night because they shared a really touching, poignant short story or a milestone in their life, and maybe the poem wasn't the main the structure and the full, but just they had the audience spellbound with this truth, and then they're chasing the high, and the direct connection to the material just gets further and further away, because it's like, I can't do that story again, but I know someone who. What if I did that from their perspective? It's a slippery slope. But if you don't go, like I once did a thing where I was like, I'm going to try and write poems about different people, but I had to stop performing them because people kept coming up and asking me about that time that I don't know, was a racist shopkeeper in 1973.
It's like, the Last Duchess. I was doing GCSE tutorial. It's like, did this really happen? It's not the poet. This is like, no, the poet wasn't a duke that murdered his first wife. Why are you? Absolutely not true. I'm sorry.
I can remember the narrative voice isn't necessarily what the actual poet or author thinks.
GCSE ones are worse
twisted.
For that,
Chaucer the Pilgrim and Chaucer the Poet being two different people. And I was like, but they're both called Chaucer.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm too autistic for this concept right now.
But if you've got a poem for GCSE, it's almost certainly not about the poet. I'm sorry.
I think in my, because it was so old in the sort of Middle English stuff, my brain couldn't conceive of the fact that it could be fictional. I was like, no, this is a historical document because it's in old-timey words.
Yeah.
Which, when I say it out loud, I do realise.
Yeah.
But at the time when it was like, oh, you have to differentiate the pilgrim from the poet, and I'm like, but the poet went on a pilgrimage. It was all real.
But even if it's real, it doesn't mean it was real. People lie about their own lives a lot of the time, and sometimes they don't know they're doing it. Anyway, on that.
Why did you look at me?
It wasn't personal.
Sometimes they don't
it was
know
like,
they're doing
agree.
I'm agreeing.
We were having the...
We're agreeing.
The minefield.
I'm so sorry.
It's so early in the Fringe as well. Thank you so much
and
for
in
this
the morning.
Anyway. Yeah, and you've got lots of working on other people's shows and then your own.
Yay.
And you have got a show.
Screech Night.
You have got a show that unfortunately isn't here because a lot of people get cancelled for reasons that aren't anything to do with anything really. It's not you got cancelled.
Not in that way.
Well, we should have a Telegraph article about you.
The venue that I was going to be in decided not to be in the Free Fringe, and therefore I could not be in the venue. And I'm very glad. I'm not glad that I'm not doing my show because I would really love to. I'll bring it up at the Fringe next year.
More development,
and you'll see the traumatized monsters.
Amazing, something to look forward to.
And train sound effects.
Great.
But this way I get to relax.
Yeah.
I get to see shows and I get to be taking in all of the Fringe rather than just being on a sort of wheeled tram track between three venues because I've promised I'll do things.
And it's good to have perspective because sometimes terrible things happen and actually you go, probably good that happened, really. That gives me something else. Not doors and windows opening, just a rest, really. more time to cogitate all things. Yeah.
Yes, thank God my partner had a medical emergency.
Yeah, it's like if something bad happens, something worse is going to happen, and you're going to go, well, perspective. At least it wasn't that. This has happened. It's even worse.
I'm not a proper Buddhist, but I do try to have a kind of, this is what's happening in this moment, and I am enjoying it or not enjoying it. But there's another moment coming along, and we'll find out what happens there.
And it's the whole story about the horse that went missing and the son that went to war and bloody. Have you heard that one?
Not a clue.
Oh no, it's the Chinese. I think it's Buddhist, or it might be Shintoism. It's something. It's like the Chinese man lost a horse. Everyone's like, "Oh no, that's terrible." He's like, "We'll see." And then the army came to take his son, or something. And yeah, it's something like that. Anyway, a series of unfortunate events that turned out in the end that his son was safe, even though he was injured, because the horse.
So it wouldn't
escaped.
have been any point worrying about it.
Exactly, because if that hadn't happened, that terrible thing that everyone was, then something worse could have happened. We don't know. Yeah, it's always gonna. It's not positivity. It's like it could have been worse, and it probably will be. So don't worry about it.
I'm not like things are.
Things are. It could be that. I mean, how you take that story that I completely garbled, you're gonna have to look it up and find out, really. But I think I've probably said it before and garbled it even worse on another show. I should probably look it up before I mention it again next time. References. This is an important
The Chinese
thing.
man turned into a horse, but it was all right because he was his own son.
That's what I got. Right. Well, I always think, is that Mulan? Mulan was the son that didn't go to war, but no, Mulan did go to war. Oh, what's happening
Not
there?
all
That's
Chinese
not
stories are Mulan.
They're not all Mulan, are they? This one's about a horse. But it's not. Anyway, that's probably it. I've got to go and run into town. I'm not going to run very fast. My feet are already completely rubbish. Things happen. Things happen, and it's all good. All right. Thank you very much,
Have
Tom.
a lovely Fringe, everybody.
Yay! It is what it is.
Come and see our word-based shows where we're coherent.
Oh no, yeah, well, maybe. Who knows?
And doing the end of police squad thing.